Tonight, see what truly exists inside the world of the paranormal. Inside. Join the discussion and review some of the best paranormal evidence captures from a wide variety of experienced and up-and-coming investigators. See and hear what they capture, where they captured it, and how they captured it. Right now on Entity Voices Paranormal Evidence.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Entity Voices Paranormal Evidence. I am Chris Allgood.
I am Audra Keeler.
I am Tony Rathman.
I forgot my name. My name is Cherie.
My name is Lourdes Gonzalez.
Cherie Ratman.
That was good. That was good.
And my name is irrelevant at this point because that was all of you.
You
I'm
can do
Ron.
Wrong.
I didn't want to be corrected.
See if you can roll Yacovetti. We just all want to hear it.
You mean the person or the word? Because I've
Either
Little-
or.
little frightening when Chris Allgood says that. I'm like, oh, I don't want to go through that. No way.
No.
Thank you, by the way,
Good
too.
news.
Thank you for the background. The good Chris has got Chris and Audra. That's awesome. So yeah, let me just start and I'll be very quick. Thank you to everybody who's supporting and posting and sharing and the Paranormally Speaking, Knowingly Talking to the Unknown book. I'm overwhelmed by the support and the love shown on it, evidenced by the team Allgood Keeler over here with their background. One of our guests tonight, Chris Nuara, is in there. He contributed an ITC advice section. Tony wrote an excellent forward for it. So thank you, everybody. It's just been great.
If you haven't ordered
You
yet,
deserve it. You deserve it, Ron. That was a lot of work. We're all super proud of you, and you owe yourself a huge tap on the shoulder because that was well done. I haven't even read it yet.
No, I appreciate it. I really do. It's been fantastic to see the love and respect from a community of people, including you guys, that I absolutely adore and look up to. So thank you, Michelle. Yeah, it's been phenomenal. So I'm beyond humbled from this experience already.
for anybody that's wondering, you can get it on Amazon.
Yep.
Yeah, you can get it audio. You can get it paperback. Paperback.
You can get audio?
Yes.
I can listen to it in the
Look
car.
at that. There you go.
There you go.
All right, Race.
Thank you, Race.
For anybody watching,
Go ahead.
anybody watching who doesn't know, that's Race Hobbs. He's our incredibly talented and brilliant producer of our show. We worked with him for a long time, even on our previous network, and that's so cool that he did that.
Exactly. That was his
It's
first
so
special
awesome.
appearance, folks.
That's awesome.
Y'all can't see it, but he's still shaking the book. So.
That's awesome. That is.
So tonight, everybody, we got Trinity Paranormal Investigations of Long Island. They are a residential team whose main goal, this is what's awesome. Their main goal is they do residential and they investigate and then determine the course of action that helps clients and the spirits. And that's a huge focus. We really like that portion of it. And for those of you that don't know who it is, it's Chris Nuara and Kat Maria, sorry.
Yeah.
I call Race Chase all the time too. So let's bring them in. Everybody say hi.
Hello.
I spelled Chris's name wrong and I pronounced Kat's wrong.
Welcome to my world.
Oh, that's great.
I would do that at least every other show. So don't think you've done about 4 of them now. That was your first one. So no big deal. Trust me.
The sad thing is I was reading.
Well, that's
that up too. No worries there.
That's the real reason why you got the job, Chris. That was the real reason.
You see,
All right, so Chris and Kat, we're going to start by first questions we always ask is what got you started in the paranormal? And we're going to start with Kat. Ladies first.
Hello. Yeah, I was kind of born into it. It seems to be one person per generation in my family. So I was kind of born into it, and it's not. I always say this: it's not that fun as a child. You basically have to be quiet on things you're seeing. But at around age 5, my mother was suspicious. I used to say some things and see some things, and she would. I don't think she wanted it for any of us because she went through it as a kid, and she brought a parapsychologist over to the house. And I don't remember everything, but the lady was playing games with me. I was just a very little girl, and then they were finished. She was finished with me, and then asked to speak to my mom. And my mom, I remember her looking a little upset, and because I guess she didn't want to hear what the parapsychologist was telling her. So I've always, it's like a clairaudience, and I call it. I was talking to April Bissett about it because I don't really, have a title for it, but it's like movie pictures, if that makes any sense.
Makes a lot of sense.
I'll see little movie pictures. I'm not a psychic, so sometimes I see them and it's frustrating. I'm like, wait, come back. What was that? And
Sure.
just things like that. And also a lot of people have this. Chris is really starting to develop it, actually. There's a high sense of whether this is a good situation or a bad situation. Even if you're hearing something sweet on the audio, sometimes that's just not what it is, So that's pretty much, and of course, I wound up in a haunted house that was over a native burial ground, which we didn't know, of course, when we bought the house. But that turned out to be a nightmare. Well, we actually left the house.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
We wound up leaving the house. So yeah,
Wow.
my mother had the opportunity to keep it after her divorce and said no. She was out.
You can have it.
You have.
She had enough. She had enough. All sorts of crazy things. You'd hear cars crashing in the window, and everybody would get up and run in the kitchen, and no one would be there. I had the Hat Man used to visit me at my side of my.
Wow.
And I liked him at first. I used to look for him until my mom asked me who I was talking to, and I was very blatant. I said, the man. He comes to say goodnight, Mom. The next thing I found out, my room was downstairs. My whole bedroom was moved.
Wow.
She knew what that was. She just didn't know I was seeing it, at the time. So, and that just escalated, and it became from, not being frightened of it to pretty frightening.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, I'd see things hanging in the doorway. The TVs would go on and off. My aunt stopped babysitting for us. She wouldn't come to our house. So,
Wow.
So that's it in a nutshell. That's how it started. Yeah. So.
All right, we'll go to a guy with a really cool first name. Chris, how did you get started? See if you can top that one.
No way to top that one. The first time I remember having an experience was when I moved into my grandfather's house in Queens, and in New York, and it would start just like just hearing footsteps, hearing like mumbling, like nobody be home. You hear someone walk up to the door, and you think, hey mom, come in, and there'd be nobody there. And then it first started with something that would come to my window and stare at me, and it would almost be like sleep paralysis, but I wasn't laying down, I was standing up. It would happen in the middle of the day, usually at night, but but sometimes it would happen during the day, and I don't know how long it was. It could be like 30 seconds, could have been a couple minutes. No one ever disturbed us, and what it looked like was what people describe as a gray. When I was a kid, I didn't know what that was, and then that's when the activity escalated. So I'm not always sold on the idea that it was a spirit, that it could have been something extraterrestrial, and
Absolutely.
Wow.
but not really sure. So so I was having the experiences. Nobody else in my house was having them. So it just after a while I just stopped saying, because my mom was putting me in psychiatry, and they would, they gave me medication and all that stuff, and nothing worked. So I kept having experiences for many years, and the sleep paralysis thing, and the window, because the window wasn't even facing my bed, so there's no way I could even see the window from a laying down position. So it never happened when I was laying down. Usually when I walked to my room, it would just like I would know it's there almost, and I would just sit there and we would just stare at each other. I don't remember anything else besides that.
Wow.
Sometimes I wish I could go, get that. What is that? When they like hypnotize you,
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
about shit when you were younger. Yeah. To see if there was anything else that happened. But after that, I moved out of there when I was 16. Almost every house that I was ever lived in, there was some kind of activity, and I never knew if I was crazy because I had been to psychiatrist, shrink. They labeled me schizophrenic, and so one day, then I read a lot about Lorraine and Ed Warren. I even tried to contact them to come to my house, but they didn't respond. But so it just came up that I wanted to see if I was crazy. I wanted to make sure. I didn't think I was crazy because it was,
Right.
No.
It does
it was-
cross your mind, though.
Yeah.
It did cross my mind a few times. Well, it crossed everybody else in my family's mind.
Yeah.
Doesn't help that I am a little crazy. Just a little. Just a little bit.
We all are, Chris. We all are.
And
Just
for
a
the
little
record,
bit.
he's not scared. He's not. I work with Chris all the time. I have a family member who was stricken with schizophrenia. He's not schizophrenic at all. When he's feeling something, I keep telling Chris, I think he's like in the early parts of being a sensitive, because when he feels something, the evidence turns up right behind it. So I really think it's a frustrating thing to deal with, obviously, as you all know, because people, I have family members that are not on my page because they're just like, what is this?
And you can tell the difference because I have a family member. Well, I have two, I think, but they're schizophrenic, and you can tell the difference
Easily.
very easy. But
Yeah.
I could also understand how people may confuse it.
Yeah.
But you can tell the difference. You can tell the difference.
Easily, yeah. This was my uncle, so I'm very familiar
My
with
cousin. My
Yeah.
cousin.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and for people outside the paranormal, when you talk about it, most of the time those diagnoses, for lack of a better word, are not coming from a medically educated point of view.
Right. They have no
And you're
proof.
crazy is low hanging fruit. Hey, I'm going to use
Right.
this label
Yeah.
for
Right.
you.
Right.
Right. The brain activity comes up normal, but yet they give this diagnosis, and I'm like, where's your evidence?
Regardless, right.
Right.
Yep.
There's nothing in the blood work. There's nothing anywhere, but they say, well, this person is such and such. And it's like, okay, if you say so,
Yeah, that's
Right.
one of the big problems that we face in this
Right.
field, right? Is we have assessment and diagnosis in the absence of evidence, and then we have evidence with the absence of open-minded diagnosis and assessment.
Right.
Right.
Exactly.
Well,
That's frustrating.
it goes back in history. If you look back in the 30s and the 40s, when people would hear voices, even if it was only in certain areas, they would still label them as schizophrenic, start doing all kinds of experiments on them, start giving them drugs and all kinds of other stuff. But if you go back, you go back even further than that, and they called them witches.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Right.
And what about that kid from the Wonder Years?
Which one?
The kid that was hearing voices in his head all the time.
That one. In the beginning?
The whole season.
I think I heard those too.
He does do it throughout the whole thing.
Yeah.
What a wonder.
Good
Anyway, let me say this before we get into evidence and everything else. We have, and Tony Tree also have had and Chris and Audrey, you just have to have this experience. We've been in the field with Chris and Kat before, and they do everything awesome. They're on point. They know their environment. They know their equipment and their abilities. You can take a little break. You get back on point. They do everything so well. They get good stuff. They add value to any event that you can have them at. So if you can get them to come out, start recruiting them. Chris takes money, right?
Which one are you talking to?
I know they both.
That's what they're going. Yo,
They both
what the hell?
yeah.
I take it too.
They do capture great stuff, though. We had the honor, oh my gosh, almost a year ago, or
with Chris.
we had them on, and they had just fantastic evidence. So I am so excited to see what we're going to get to review tonight.
Yeah.
So before we start reviewing evidence, why don't each one of you tell the audience, because this question always comes up, what is your main preference when it comes to equipment during an investigation?
Oh, that's definitely a Chris question. For me, I'm starting to really get into just back to the basics because I am finding evidence right on my video cam. That's what I brought tonight. It's surreal. It's just coming right up. So I believe I'm going to pull the old EVP recorder out with a recorder. You know, I think the video is important because, you know, when you just hear sound, you know, people are like, well, what's that? You know, so you put it to video and then the basic EVP recorder. I haven't gone over, it would take me a decade to go over all the evidence, but I can tell you that I'm finding a lot coming up in the open air, and you'll see some of that tonight, just with no equipment. So back to basics. Yeah.
How about you, Chris?
Of course, I love recorders. I love EVPs, but obviously, you all know that I love spirit boxes.
Oh yeah,
They're great.
I think I have like 13 of them.
Oh,
Wow.
wow.
he's not done either. He's not done. He's not.
No,
You still haven't caught Ron yet.
Not even close, probably.
Oh, he's close. Yeah.
You're never done collecting them. It's just something you always got to see what the next one can or can't do and how it operates. And
It's always
It's
upgrading, enhancing all.
not bad, but it's just, you know, they work different. People build them differently.
Yeah.
You want to see how it functions, what kind of circuitry it's using, and I find it absolutely fascinating. And yeah,
I actually have another one coming from Austin Maynard in the next couple of days.
And it's a new toy for them. It's a new toy.
It is.
It's like a treat.
Keep me quiet.
Now I see the romance.
Is that
Ron. Now I
longer
see the
one?
romance.
Oh no, it's the one he made that it's from a looks like a PA. It's a PA speaker from a school. He's got a pulsar circuit in it, and it's got AM, FM, and it sounds amazing. He's you can see his development as a builder every single time he does something. You can see how good he's getting at it, and I don't care what he says because he won't let me compliment him, but that he's going to be a beast with building the longer he does this.
Wow.
He will. We bought our son one from him for Christmas, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, Dylan.
He loves it, and it works really good. He did a great job building it.
Yeah, he does good
I've
work.
been looking at his stuff too. I've been looking at all stuff too. Thinking about buying something.
And Chris, we had fun with it. We had our direct links from Jay Prather at Kreischer, and we were running them. We were running them concurrently right up in the top floor in the attic.
Yeah, and the spirits broke mine.
That's true.
That's right. That's right.
Because it was working. It was when we were live downstairs on the second floor when me and Kat went live. It worked amazing. We were getting the people's names that lived there, that owned the house. It was crazy. We were getting direct answers the whole night. And all of a sudden I go upstairs like an hour later and the speed circuit is not working. It's like you can go like 3/4 of the turn and it doesn't move. And then the little bit of last quarter turn is what goes from the lowest speed and to the highest speed. So I'm like, what the hell? And it was like making a weird noise. But I figured that what that was. I had the reverb too high up. It was the reverb.
Okay.
It was making it like spaced out too much with the echo, with the combination of them. So.
And Chris, you can tell him real fast before we get into the clips. He's like me. Like he says, I always run stuff. Like every chance I get, like I'll run a box or a DRV session or whatever. He runs stuff like at work. He runs stuff all the time, and he'll send me stuff too. And going, listen to this. I'm like, holy crap! It's great.
Yeah.
So speaking of at work, before we get into these clips, they're not in any specific order because I was converting them and uploading them while I was at work. Don't tell my boss. So
you just did.
That's what I was thinking.
The good thing is she's way up in Virginia, so she doesn't watch our show.
Bummer.
Yet.
These are not in any specific order. They're random. If I grouped all of Chris's together, and then if I put somebody too far down, I'm sorry, guys. I didn't do it on purpose. And
no, they were all together anyway. It was just.
Yeah.
Well, that doesn't mean that's how they ended up, Chris.
I know how that goes.
And I had to name them when I put them in here. So if the name doesn't make sense, then we can talk about it after the clip. But the first one we'll get started because this is some great evidence, is Chris wants a. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. You want to give us a little bit of description of what happened, where you were, what was going on?
Or did you want us to play the clip and then you explain it?
Yeah, play the clip first so I can hear
Right.
make sure where we were, just in case.
In case I named it all screwed up.
That's right.
All right, here we go, guys.
This one's a favor.
Wow.
I heard mirror. Chris wants a mirror.
I heard
That
favor.
sounds like a witch.
Let's play it again.
Male
Hang on.
voice.
No, we
No,
gotta
it's
play it
female
again.
voice.
I heard male voice.
Play
Here
it
you go.
again.
I heard
It's mirror.
I heard
That was
favor.
excellent. It's
That's
mirror.
what I heard.
Is it
Chris
mirror?
wants
I
a
couldn't-
mirror.
I couldn't
Oh, I
tell.
thought it said Chris wants a beer. That's what I
Play it
thought
again.
it said.
Play it
Hey, you never
again.
know,
Play
right?
it again. We heard
Depends on
favor.
which Chris we're talking
I heard
about.
favor. Who wants a favor?
All right, here we go.
Yeah, it might be beer actually.
No, I hear
I-
mirror.
Syllables. I hit two
I
syllables.
don't know.
Play
Yes.
it one more time. Listen to the
It's like
second one.
beer. You know when they do the cadence is different. Like I hear like beer, like Chris wants a beer.
Right.
That's what I
I
hear.
think that's what he's
But
saying. Mirror.
Listen to the second one. You'll hear the mirror roar. Play,
All right,
play it
let's-
one more time.
You're right, Tony.
Yeah.
You're right.
Does
I
sound
still hear favor.
You still hear favor?
Yeah.
Well, but it is. It's not beer though, for sure.
No,
It's not beer.
Yeah, it sounded like favor to me too. I don't know.
Yeah. That's
It's definitely two cadence.
Chris
Dark
wants
zone.
a mirror.
Dark
I hear mirror.
Mirror.
Dark Zone
settles
Network.
it.
Very
Mirror.
cool. They're watching.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's
there
awesome.
The entire
Alright, that-
Dark Zone network is watching, guys.
That is,
Yeah.
that's
That's how
awesome.
good. That's
Yeah,
how
I
good
hear,
the evidence.
I
these
hear
people-
mirror.
That's how good the evidence these people get. They've been on the show for how many minutes, and we already have a debate going on.
It's good though.
Like we always
It's really
talk
good.
Okay.
these
How we hear
husband
things.
and wives, and we always hear something so different. But yeah, but I hear like a harder F. I mean,
Yeah,
I
I
know
do
what
too.
Tony's
Yeah.
talking about is the at the end, but it's favor to me.
Yeah.
So
I
the
get
bigger
F
question
also.
is, where were you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were at Kings Park Psychiatric Center. It's not a well-known place. It's a place that kids go to. Like it's like a park. It was a psychiatric hospital. It used to be over 120 buildings. There's
Wow.
maybe about 50 of them left. You're not supposed to go inside them, so I wouldn't suggest for anybody to go inside, but we do. And and let me tell you, Kat's a ninja, man. She'd be jumping through those windows. I'm like, how's my fat butt gonna get through there?
You know what an amazing capture though. I mean, regardless of what that last word is,
Yeah.
the rest of it is so clear. And the fact that it says Chris
Your
wants
His
name.
name, very clear.
Yeah.
regardless of whether that last word is beer or mirror or favor or anything in between. Awesome capture.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Tony's right. I mean, think about this. People go, "Oh, well, maybe it's not as good paranormal evidence because you're not sure about the last word." We have trouble hearing the living when they say stuff half the time.
Seriously.
Right.
What?
Exactly. I beg your pardon.
She has trouble hearing me all the time in the same room.
Yeah. Right now,
Tony,
she's
where
begging
do
your
you
pardon,
work?
though.
I work for Miracle here. So if anybody's got any problems, let me know.
Whatever.
I actually told her on Sunday. She kept going, "What?" She kept going, "What?" I said, "I'm calling Rathman and getting you some samples."
I want to figure out if I can make those paranormal.
I know. Maybe we can all wear
That's
one.
actually a great idea.
Yeah.
Matter of time.
I'll tell you
Yep.
what, the first couple investigations, you'd be shitting yourself. Thinking it's right in your ear.
Oh yeah.
I'd be the only one going, "Did you hear that? Did you hear that?" Everybody's like, no, we didn't. Okay.
Tony's schizophrenic.
Yeah, that's
All
an
right.
excellent. Tony's right. That's an excellent quote.
That is
Great
excellent. Yeah. You know what? I got a chance to listen to these 3 or 4 times, so they're all excellent catches.
Mhm.
So the next one is called In Between the Voices. And I believe this is Kat.
It's Kat.
Oh, go ahead and play it.
No,
Can
it's
we
not.
play it, Kat?
Yeah,
Hey,
they haven't seen this yet.
Okay, let's go ahead and play it.
All right, Scott, got it.
All right, here we go.
Over here. It's okay.
Did you hear that? Did you just hear that? In between the voices. No, but I guess it's confirming.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that is creepy.
That's
Well-
the new one. That's the video I'm working on now, and that was a really crazy, dark case dealing with black magic, and it's called well, Lourdes, you might have heard of this. It's called brujeria.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have
Yeah.
too.
So
Mhm.
that's what was the items were left in the garage as an altar because it was a family member's items, and the daughter, who is our team member, had trouble parting with it, but because she's selling her house, she does not want other people to deal with what's left in there. So there was like an emergency visit, and boy, oh boy, that place. But
Okay,
I was hearing a lot.
Wow.
For those of us that don't know, tell us what you said is
Brujeria.
brujeria.
Lourdes would probably explain it better. They say there's white and black, but this individual, it was suspected that she used some revenge tactics. There was a voodoo-like doll there, a black head with a candle on top of it, and then of course, the saint candle was there, and the smell of what she was burning. I don't know what it was, but if I would, because I'm a retired.
Oh, you have it.
I have
Can see it, Chris.
I have a video of what I did with that candle coming up soon, but I can tell
You're right.
As a retired nurse, the smell coming out of that candle, I'm telling you, it was horrible, and it smelled. I smelled blood in it.
Oh.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I
Brujeria.
What?
No, I just want to say brujeria in Spanish means witch. So I mean, I've never followed like witch in
Wow.
not the Hispanic sense, non-Hispanic sense, but brujeria is a witch. So I don't know if it's the same thing as what you guys call good witches and bad witches, but that's what that is. It's the same concept if it isn't the same thing.
Okay, so it was the determination, because it took us a while. First, we thought it was like a mix of Santeria and voodoo, because we didn't know. We found out a little later on, but it was the woman was explaining to me that it's brujeria with black magic. That's all she was saying. So I don't know.
Yeah, well, bruja means witch, and then
Yes,
brujeria
yes.
is witchery. Yeah.
Yeah. So the black magic witchery. That's pretty
Right.
much what it was, and she had a teacher and everything. And what's funny, the teacher that the woman had was from Yonkers, and we have a capture. I don't have it tonight, but it's going to be in the video coming up that says Yonkers out of nowhere, and it's not a app or anything like that. It's Chris's box.
Oh,
so,
wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that place was. I mean, as soon as I walked in, you could hear the moans coming out of the garage and everything. So Martha from the team was right. She's just a good-hearted person, and she thought she was getting another house and did not want to leave the house like that. So crazy.
For the record, by the way, when you investigate with Anthony Seminelli, you also deal with witches, but they're sand witches.
That's so true, though.
With Italian cold cuts.
Yeah. Hey, why not?
And they're the best.
Yeah.
At 7 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, question of the night, Chris: why the hell do you have that?
Yeah, huh?
Well, we couldn't leave it there, so I like to
Your first thought was, "I'll take it home."
Yeah.
I brought worse home. The funny thing is, my girlfriend thought that I was bringing home a shrunken head, an actual shrunken head. Because she thought I'm like, no, it's just it looks like a voodoo doll, and then the other head is like where they used to have like the incense on there, I think.
So where do you keep it? Do you keep it separated?
It's got a Tupperware.
No, but I
in the
mean-
freshness.
Yes.
Do you have
Tupperware
a
holds in
special room
everything.
that you keep it in
For years.
away?
Keep it fresh for a year.
Well, it's been binded. So
It's
Okay,
been
that's
bound. It's
the
been
next
bound.
question is, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's sealed, it's bound, and every so often he'll tell you because he must, poor Anne, his girlfriend, poor Anne, because the things he brings home. But I call him at least once a week and say, is that still sealed? Is it getting loose? Keep it sealed. Make sure it's sealed. Make sure it's away from everything. Don't let it crack, because we have to wait until we find. He wants to eventually have a haunted museum. Ah, Chris. He's got
Full of Tupperware.
He's got items
Yeah.
that he
Why
puts in
not?
the car when they go on a nice couples vacation. He's coming back with like a blood-led cat in the back of the car that we
Oh my goodness.
sealed off an
Wow.
investigation. I'd be like, I would kill you.
So investigate with Chris, okay. Carpool with Chris, not so much.
Yeah. And if he invites you over for dinner, make sure he's not serving you out of Tupperware.
It's sealed. It's bound. It's sealed and everything. But still, at least give the person a heads off. Don't wait till it's in the trunk. As you're driving.
Yeah. A quick little shout out to Courtney, ERRT Radio, Martha, Anthony Seminelli, and Marianne,
The Dark Zone.
Steve and Katie Holte. We
Carrie
appreciate always
Howard's
watching.
here.
Jared Tracy from Pasadena Paranormal.
What's up, Jared?
We have
Yeah,
awesome
we
audience.
have an excellent group here tonight and
Yeah,
some
we do.
Yeah.
fantastic
That's awesome.
people. And
That's
to
Martha.
answer Marianne's question, yeah, you can send it to me. We'll take a look. Just send it to tony.rathman@cox.net. We'll take a look at whatever you got. So
Oh, okay.
Now Tony's going to get all kinds of junk porn coming into his mailbox.
Yeah, I love that story.
Porn
I love that story
paranormal.
about his email. He can tell it when he wants to, but that's great.
Oh, just a heads up. That's Martha from the team. That was her house. That was the house.
Oh
she's-
wow!
Yeah, that's
okay.
her.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You know what? All jokes aside, because we love Chris, so we'll tease him. But truth be told, I mean, there's an altruistic thing. He took something dangerous on the faith of having it bound and everything else, and he brought it home with him to take it away from someone else who was being afflicted
Yes.
by it. So,
That's what he's doing.
Yeah.
That's
so
actually
kudos to him for that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
I agree.
absolutely.
That's
Absolutely.
selfless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He has been doing that. He does do that, because that's our motto, is to try our best, do our best to bring light into dark places. And how are you going to do that when you're leaving something so ratchet just laying there? So that's what
Well,
Martha wanted. She wanted it out of there. That was her
Yeah,
main
you
goal.
also got to give credit to Martha, too, because Martha didn't want to sell the house and pass it on to somebody else.
Exactly. She said,
Yeah.
Kat, there's footsteps above me, there's voices. She goes, I can't leave the house like this. I said, all right, team. So it was like last minute, let's just go and do the best we can. It wasn't conventionally done the way we usually do it, but we weren't going to just sit there and do nothing. So we did our best, in the one night we had.
that's awesome.
Yeah,
So-
T-Dog you just got endorsed by T-Dog, and that's one of the things I love about you guys too. I say this on so many shows. We are people and human beings to be kind and respectful to each other before we're anything paranormal, and you guys are both top notch in that area. So that's one of the things that we always sing your praises.
Thank you. So are you. Thank you.
for you guys.
What's up, T-Dog?
See, I don't feel so good because I would have waited to see who the buyer was, and if the guy was an asshole, I'd have left it in the house.
That's funny.
The guy was a jerk. Leave it in the garage.
Oh, man. That's
Just kidding. I wouldn't have done
All good real estate,
it.
or is it?
Be good to me, or you.
Well, that sounds like a good time to bring up the next one called It's Sad.
Yeah.
Have you heard this one?
I think it's better that you play them and then maybe.
Yeah.
No, Ron got excited.
I think
thought
this is
you-
bad.
Oh.
This is bad.
All right, let's go ahead and listen. Here we go.
Just here to pay some respect to you. Sorry for what was done. Sorry for the life you had to live. Can you say that again? It's like sad kid noises.
Shits.
It said something else, like it's like shittus or situs.
Shivers. Okay, you have devices here to touch. Okay, Chris is here. We promised Anne. I left you some money over there, Anne. We're here. We're not home. We're here where we met you.
Wow. That was really good. That was a lot.
So I counted 5 different voices, and some of them repeated. The same voice repeated between the woman, the male, and the child.
Mhm.
That was an awesome clip.
It was.
Yeah.
That was Letchworth Village Cemetery. I don't know if you probably, Ron and Florida's probably heard of Letchworth Village. It's in
Yes.
Rockland County, New York. And,
We've never
they have
been
a
to
cemetery
New York.
also, which is so sad because it's just numbers. There's no names on the grave, number.
That's what Anthony told us.
The backstory of some of the clips on there was that they have like a temple church, but it was a Jewish facility, so they had a temple. And when we were there, Kat picked up on a female, like a young child named Anne. Well, we didn't know her name at the
We
time.
didn't know her name. Yeah.
We didn't know her name, and she ended up following me around. Like she comes to my house, comes to my job. She's just always around, and she actually decides wanting help for herself, which we're not sure what she wants yet. But she tries to help other spirits that had really bad stuff happen. You know, the kids that lived there were experimenting. It has a very, very similar past to Penhurst School in Pennsylvania. You know, that it was a home for children, you know, and adults with mental or physical disability.
Wow.
Yeah.
So she follows them. She comes through all the time.
I believe
And at first we thought it was my girlfriend.
Yes.
We thought it was my girlfriend's name. Like, why do they keep saying my girlfriend's name? And then one day she was like, I am Anne. Like, I am Anne. Then Kat was able to put 2 and 2 together, her ability.
Yeah.
That's why I always ask that question when, like, some people, like, if it's the name Bob, and they're like, "Why are you calling me?" And it just keeps saying Bob, Bob, Bob. And I usually say, "Well, are you trying to reach this Bob, or is your name Bob?" And I usually I get a response because you never know.
Remember when we had John Huckert and Bill Murphy from Fact or Faked on the show, the Polaroid ghost case from California? The name that was written in ectoplasm in white was Wright, WRIGHT. And the reason they didn't do that when they eventually traced the history, the spirit's name was John Wright. But there were 2 Johns living in the house, so saying John would have gotten him nowhere.
Right.
Wow.
Correct. Excellent point, Ron. Excellent point.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know that as you do investigations, those are the things you pick up on. So Lourdes, that was a great response too, because you do run into that from time to time where you've got multiple people on the investigation with the same name, and to clarify like that, that's fantastic.
Yeah. It took us a while. He was getting frustrated because his lovely girlfriend does not want to do this, and then he's like, "Why is it bothering her?" And it was just one day I was like, "I don't think it's her. I think it's that little girl. I think that's funny. And then I think Chris did a session and confirmed it.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
And Chris, what box was that? That was one of Jay's, right?
Yeah, that was the intercom box. That's the one that I used when Tony was here. And
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, good sound. Good. He makes great stuff too, Jay Prather.
Yeah, he does. He does.
Yeah.
Wow.
What is he got?
Yeah, you can't be into ghost boxes these days and fall short of quality between Holtes and Prathers and Staffords and Maynards and who else? Hernandez's and these like and Rathmans.
Thank you.
But he doesn't sell them. He doesn't sell
That's true.
them.
He doesn't
He
sell it.
wouldn't sell it.
Yeah.
I don't. I don't.
But we could swap
Someday-
the suitcase next time he comes and he won't know.
Right?
and that was only a 2-minute clip. That was only a 2-minute clip of like a 30-minute session.
Yeah.
We got a lot of evidence.
There was a lot in that 2-minute clip.
Yeah, there was a lot.
Oh, yeah, it was going. It was going.
They're dead.
Yeah. Yeah. And we were running on E too because we had just come back from the Hinsdale house.
Mm.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So we were
And Wildwood, right? We did Wildwood too.
And Wildwood, yeah. And,
Yeah, we were with T-Dog from last week. So
Yeah,
In the same night?
Jason and Dawn.
No, 2 different nights. We did Friday, Saturday. Friday night, I think we did Hinsdale.
Yeah.
Saturday night, we did Wildwood Sanitarium.
Yeah.
And then that was Sunday, right when it was getting dark.
It was with Jason and
Yeah.
Dawn from Beyond the Grave and T-Dog, I believe.
Nice.
And,
Oh, wow.
Martha, Chris, and I were there.
Wow.
I'm so jealous with you guys. You guys can investigate any,
That's
Off
because
of-
they have places all over. We're at a major shortage. We've hit the ones here so many times. They're no fun to go
to the
back.
East Coast.
Exactly. That's why I was waiting. I was like, come to the East Coast.
I'm being drawn. I'm being drawn in.
so expensive. Oh my gosh.
I can tell you, Tony, as a sensitive over here on the East Coast, the minute we moved here, I started buzzing. And I was like, okay, what the hell's going on? Is there something in the air? And then I realized that there's so much history over here. It is insane.
Yeah.
Like we went to there's a place not too far from here. It's about an hour south of us called Buford's Massacre. And it was towards the end of the Revolutionary War. The war was ending. Cornwallis had surrendered. And there were some Virginians and North Carolinians coming north from Wilmington, and they had gone for 54 hours straight trying to get home. And there was this one colonel for the British Army that just wasn't satisfied that the war was over. And he brought in a bunch of troops and they caught him at this location over here in South Carolina, just south of us, and they slaughtered him.
Wow.
All of them right there in that one spot. And to this day, from 1780 until today, the memorial grave is still there. And the energy in that place is just, but you can drive within 20, 30 minutes of wherever you're at and find
Pick
it.
a direction.
Yeah, pick a direction and you can find something
yeah.
on it. It's
South
it's
Carolina?
amazing.
That gave me chills, Chris. That gave me chills. That's
What'd you say?
because that's probably not the only instance. I'm sure that happened.
Bro,
you
You
know,
know, that's just
Yeah.
one where they've recorded it and it's planted there. I mean,
Right.
it happened all over this area.
Right. Yeah. Oh, that gave me chills.
just over the border in Beaufort, South Carolina, Kat.
Wow. Okay, because my
Yeah.
daughter,
Yeah, look it up.
my daughter is moving to North Carolina, so maybe I'll see you guys next
Yeah.
year.
Wow, come on down.
There you go.
She's
Yeah.
house shopping right now. So
Good luck.
Where? What part?
I don't remember the name. I can't remember the name off the top of my head. It's for work, but it's a developing area. I know that. That's all I know. They're going to be building a parkway there. That's not there yet. That's all I can. Oh, I don't remember the name. You got me there. It's all new news, so I can't. I'm just registering that she's going to North Carolina.
Yeah.
Hey, Brent.
Brent, South Carolina.
What's up, Brett?
She told me eventually she wants me to come because she wants kids and wants me to be the official babysitter.
Hey, Mom, I know you've been in New York your whole life, in New Jersey area, but you got to move to North Carolina because I need a
Yeah.
babysitter.
That's basically my daughter. Yeah, that's her.
All right, let's go to the next clip. Laugh is Chris.
What is
Let's
it?
go ahead and play it. This one's a good one.
Know anybody that lived here in life?
Yeah.
Yep.
That's good.
That is really good.
Laugh.
That laugh was so creepy.
The laugh was really cool, but at the end, when he said "this, Chris," it almost sounds like there's a question condemnation in there a little bit. Like he's verifying it's you. Is that a location you've been to before?
No, well, that was a residential case. That was a residential case in Long Island, New York. And that place was infested with spirits.
So you know, he was up on the 3rd floor with Phil alone.
Yeah, we were up on the 3rd, me and Phil, and he was in one bedroom, I was in the other one, and we waited 15 seconds in between questions.
Yeah,
And
they
he would
really
flash his flashlight when he wanted me to ask one, and then he would ask one. And both had an EVP recorder in our room.
Let's play that again.
Know anybody that lived here at night?
Chris, doesn't sound like
Yeah.
it does sound like a question.
Yeah,
It does.
Yeah. This Chris.
This Chris? Yeah, like this Chris?
Yep.
And the laugh is a little sarcastic laugh.
Yeah, it's a little creepy. It's not like creepy, but there's something creepy about it.
Yeah, wait, hold on a second. Cherie, do that again, please.
What?
The laugh.
Oh!
It was awesome. She won't do it now.
I missed it because I was talking. Do that.
You know what's amazing? I thought their camera froze for a second. I'm like,
Yeah. It was so good.
that was awesome.
Yeah, that was creepy.
I'm good in mimicking.
Yeah, because you're a bruja. No, I'm just kidding.
Bruja, yes. Oh my gosh, you know, that's how we also called witch bruja in Philippines, in Tagalog.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's very similar because I have friends who are Filipino and I can understand some of the stuff that they say when they're speaking the language. So
Yeah, same here. Same here.
It's ironic that you're talking about that because that's case 9. I remember that. That's also another situation where they were doing. It wasn't the same. It was something with Santeria, but something dark was going on. The woman had called us, and she actually had left the practice, but right just before leaving, she brought her family over because her son was autistic and he couldn't speak. He only knew a few words. He was 15 years old, and it started where she had called us because in a little girl's voice, he started speaking clearly.
Whoa.
And the aunt and her were completely freaked out, and then all sorts of really creepy things were going on in that house. So when that happened with Chris and Phil, and those two, I can tell you that's how we operate. We don't speak in the middle. We do not speak. That's a big deal with Trinity. You know, you say something, the flashlight, you wait 15 to 30 seconds, and then he'll hit the flashlight, and then the next person will ask a question, and that's how we roll. Now, the two of them were upstairs on the 3rd floor. Martha and I were in the basement. We were far away from them, so I don't know what the heck that is, but there were a couple of other raw voices coming out of that house before it was done. Yeah, so that was another one of those really crazy cases. Yeah, but it's in the same category. They were doing something very similar. You know, you saw all the little worship. She had the glass of water on the floor where she was making a deal with these entities, you know, to please them. I told her get rid of that, you know. You don't have to make deals with them. I told her, you know, and it turned out that in her family, her stepmother burnt on fire.
Ooh.
Yeah. So she
Like
had
spontaneous?
No, she smoked and she went to bed, but she was not a nice person from what I understood. And she burnt alive in the house in the house she was in. So she felt that something was following her and her family for a long time. And
because if you're gonna do stuff like that, it's gonna come back to you. That's the way it works. That's it.
Absolutely, yeah. So that case, that was the one case that actually freaked one of my team members out. That he never got freaked out, Phil. And that one, he was like, "What?" Because the captures that came out of that were not from any devices; they were just
EVPs, just
it was really crazy.
Let me tell you from experience as somebody that's been burnt and been in a burn unit, I can tell you that the energy that would have been left behind from that alone is just extreme because the pain that was involved with somebody burning alive
Yeah.
Is the worst pain you could probably ever feel. I mean, I would scream after on all the medication that I was on when I was in the burn unit. There was times when they'd take me in for my cleanings that I would be on morphine, I would be on Vicodin, I would be on oxycodone. They would put you to the brink of overdose, and then they go in and they do the cleanings, and you would scream till you passed out.
Yeah. Oh wow.
So if somebody died burning to death alive, burning to death alive, double entendre. If they burned alive in that house, that would leave an extreme amount of energy in that house. That would be just phenomenal.
It was just, I heard in the upstairs, because then we switched. They were downstairs and we were upstairs, and I actually heard laughing and sexual sounds. So
wow.
And I was like, what is, like literally dirty sexual talk and like this maniacal laugh. Like it was really something not good in that house. So
wow. So real quick before we go to the next clip, in about 6 minutes, UNX is going to be switching the audio over, and they're going to be moving on to the next show. For everybody that's watching, if you want to continue to watch, we're still live on Facebook. We're still live on YouTube. Stick around. We've got about 3 more clips, and I'm sure some really good conversations still to continue. So go ahead and stick around with us.
I think the question we all have before the next clip is, based on that last piece of evidence we just saw, is Chris going to pull any Tupperware out with anything in it?
Yeah.
No, we did. There's something was bound there in the garage. We used to put these rocks in her mouth.
Wow.
That was part of their tradition with whatever their ritual, where they would and close the mouth and pour stuff in it, and there was a whole box of stuff like that. So that was bound, but she kept it bound in her garage. So it was crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That is nuts.
They were black rocks. I don't know if I, these rituals some of these people come up with, and
I know a lot of rituals, and I never heard about them. But my family doesn't practice that black magic. But still, that's crazy to me. I've never seen any of that. So
I'd never heard of it either. I was like, what?
Yeah.
She said they would. It was part of the ritual. They put it, and they would do these incantations and put a. Yeah. So I don't know.
So let's go to the next clip. The next one is Letchworth Alone in Morgue.
Oh my! This is one of my favorite videos. So we're there a lot, by the way. But this one, there's a full video on that on YouTube. I put the title of it because that was day one with Chris on Trinity from Letchworth. He had been there before, but this was day one without us. I spoke to him earlier that day, and I just felt like it was red hot that day, and it was. And we've been going there ever since, this area. But this is interesting because there's no equipment on at the time.
Oh wow. Okay, let's take a listen.
I'm touched. I'm feeling whispering wind hit my ear. I'm getting goosebumps. There's 100% something here with me. What the fuck? Okay. All right, live from Letchworth Village.
Wow.
And for everybody watching that doesn't do paranormal investigating, that is a common phrase that does come up. that WTF comes up quite a bit.
Yeah. Oh
Right.
yes. Yeah. Oh yeah. There's a lot of. You're right. There's a whole lot of that.
So what I found intriguing about that clip is you're actually walking through talking about how nervous you are, and it's actually saying settle. It's almost like it's trying to tell you to relax, calm down. It's okay.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out why that word, but that is out of there is no equipment on. I just brought the volume up because I heard it low, and I brought the volume up, and there it is. And then something got thrown in the room, if you heard. And he had that happen a few times in there, where
It's probably right before the what the fuck.
Yeah, I had something hit me in the leg. I had something thrown at my leg. Now, where this is a morgue where they have like the drawers that they used to put people in.
Yeah.
And they had like the tables and stuff like that in the laboratory. And I don't know if you remember the episode of Ghost Adventure that they did there. They're the only TV show that's ever been. Because you're not allowed to go in the building, same as Kings Park. And that was where they the brain room where they used to keep the brain stored in formaldehyde for children. They would study the brain, and just a really really active. And I was there alone. And I laid inside the morgue table, and something banged so loud on there.
It's
and
in
then
the
one of
video.
the spirit boxes, it's in the video. And then there's one response that actually still creeps me out when I hear it. It knew I was scared. It said exactly like that on the spirit box.
Yeah.
So, Kat, let me ask you a question. When you
joyous.
say you raise the volume, you just regular raise it, or do you use a software to raise? Because sometimes you hear them in there. Because sometimes you hear them in there, and you raise the volume, and it's just not loud enough.
Right. Now, I have software if I need it. I just didn't need it with this one. It was that raw.
Okay.
But there are situations like that. Yeah, I have software. If I have to bring it up, I'll put it on something and bring it up. I'm not a fan of it because the software goes, but if I have to, if it's something, valuable to the case or what's going on, I'll do it.
Yeah.
I'm
Spend some time on the meat slab.
He was in there. He was in there. Phil
was there, yeah.
Yeah.
Came with us.
That's awesome.
Phil was like, "Get in there, boy."
All right. So this next clip is called "Paranormal Can Happen Anywhere."
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and listen.
You can shut it off now. Thank you. We're good. We're good.
Wow.
Yeah, what I do in the morning is I do, that's my thing. I do morning prayers. So before I start my day, and I'm trying to do my morning prayers, and I can hear whispers, and I'm like, okay, before they label me a nut, I'm going to finish my prayers with the video on. And there they were. I mean, there they were. You can hear them. That last one's driving me nuts. Maybe, as you suggested, I might put that one on too, because that last one has cadence to it, and it's saying something. It is saying, I just can't hear it. I can't. If you guys can hear it, but
play it one more time, Chris.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
You can shut it off now. Thank you. We're good. We're good.
Yeah.
Yeah, right? Something with an S.
It's a male voice. I can't make out what it's saying.
I live alone, by the way. I don't have any pets or anything. I live upstairs by myself, and there's nothing, just me and the walls. So
with a bunch of cat toys and no cat. Except for you. Except for you, you're the cat. You're the cat.
Yeah, I play with the cat toys. Yes. Yeah, but this is the kind of stuff that goes on a lot. So you tell somebody you heard something, they're like, "Okay, cat, have some coffee or something," So what I do now is I don't tell anybody anything. If I feel like I'm hearing that, I just pop the video on and say, "Okay, explain this."
Yeah, I should start doing that.
You
No.
just and if that happens to any of you, being how it is in the field, just okay, I know something isn't right. Just throw your video on. You'd be surprised.
Yeah, it's just that I'm lazy. I leave my phone everywhere. So sometimes if something happens and if it's downstairs, my lazy ass will go downstairs.
We all have missed moments. We all have those missed moments where we're like, "Oh, that was so prominent." Oh, moving along,
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we turned on the direct link that Jay Prather made. We turned on the direct link. I turned it on the one day right over here just to see that the battery was still good. And I was maybe we'll replace it anyway. And it goes me DRV, and I was like, and nobody was recording. We went, what?
He said,
wow.
Actually, he said, is anyone upstairs? That's what you said.
That's right.
And it said me DRV, like if they wanted him to bring it upstairs or something. That's what I got out of that one. But yeah.
Wow. Wow, I love that.
Crazy.
I love that. That is amazing.
There is a high preponderance of really great captures when they know you're not recording.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
They're
so true.
seriously, if you look at the odds, it's like they know you're not going to be able to replay it. So all right,
Yeah.
they're a little
That's when the good ones
riskier with it.
come.
That is so frustratingly true because
It
what
is.
was going on that day before I turned the video on, it was so much louder and more active and
Right.
before I turned it on. I feel like I'm, I have to sneak it on, like don't make a scene, but you can't fool spirits,
No.
That's what I said. You can't fool them. And they
They know
get
what's
pissed that you're trying to fool them.
Right.
What are you doing?
Well, how many times at the Phelps Dodge Hospital did we start packing up, and then all of a sudden it started going crazy? It's like, God
Right.
damn
The
it!
moment we started taking stuff down, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All the time.
It's
Yeah.
crazy.
The funny thing is the first thing I would say, do you still have a recorder going? No, I packed this shit up.
That's what I told him. I was like, the first thing I said, you have your quarter written? No.
It doesn't. It's so true.
Turn the
It's all of
recorder
us.
on. I tell him, turn the recorder on before you turn on the box.
Oh yeah. You get caught up in, when
I know.
setup is crazy. You know that. You put something down, you're like, where did I put it? And you go all over the place until you get settled. So, and that tends to be when a lot of crazy things happen, when you're setting up or not ready yet. And it's like, really? You couldn't wait 20 more minutes. So I hear you. But we want to go back to Kreischer, by the way. We're going to wait for T-Dog to come to New York, so and go with them. So whenever when that happens, I'm going to call you, y'all wonderful people. And
that'd be awesome.
Yeah, count us in. We'll go to the diner and Kreischer in the same night was awesome.
Absolutely. Yeah, we'll have T-Dog here. He's awesome. We've worked with him many times. So
yeah,
we're gonna get to tie him up.
And he's not broke.
And blindfolded.
I thought that was just like a light. I thought it was like for figure, like just for for a look. But I was with T-Dog and had to tie it. He is bound. I mean, he is bound. Those chains are heavy. That's a real lock. He tells you to leave with the key. Like this guy really, he's in there locked up. I don't.
All right. Well, I want to be responsible for chaining him up and tying him up.
Okay. Yeah. You heard her, T-Dog.
I give him credit and guts for doing that, though.
Yeah.
It's the real deal.
No.
I wouldn't be able to do it either. I don't think so.
We talked about it last week. I ain't afraid of shit, but you're not locking me up.
Yeah, that's right. Yep.
No.
Yeah, I just something claustrophobic about it to me. I'll stay there. You saw I got touched and everything. I'll stay there, but don't tie me up. No.
I think that's what it is. It's not even the paranormal stuff. It's just not being able. That's the problem.
Yeah, it's like a claustrophobia issue.
I don't like getting boxed in traffic.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
That's me. Like, I need my hands free.
Exactly.
I'm Italian. If you tie my hands up, I can't talk. He's
muted.
There's nothing I can say to you. If my hands are tied, I can't talk.
And I can't eat that Italian sandwich.
That's Chris Italiano.
That's funny. All right, we got one.
I'm talking with my hands right now, but they're
they're below the camera.
He's moving them.
Why are they down there?
She's not even Italian. She does the same thing.
All the time. I have to.
I asked her one day, I said, if I held your hands, could you speak? And she's like, no.
Their expressions.
That's so funny.
She's honest.
She is. She's honest. All right. The last clip we have is Kings Park. They're not kids.
Oh, yeah.
Let's go ahead and take a listen.
What normally comes to Kings Park in Long Island are kids or people just goofing around or exploring and taking pictures. We believe Spirit knows intention. Check this out.
Wow.
Yeah. Let me play that one more time.
Too fast.
Yes, please.
What normally comes to Kings Park in Long Island are kids or people just goofing around or exploring and taking pictures. We believe spirit knows intention. Check this out.
That's
yeah. Courtney's right. The one time it's cool to be old.
And that's what it is that place is pretty much untouched by paranormal investigators. And I'm telling you, I've been to Waverly Hills. Not saying that it's more haunted than there, because obviously you can't, determine in one day. But I've been to Kings Park a lot, and I've heard, I've seen stuff move. I've heard footsteps. We've been yelled at. We've heard, raw EVPs. Now we got just the first time I brought Kat there, we got 30 EVPs in a 45-minute period.
Wow.
Because they have tunnels that connect all the buildings. They have these tunnels that connect all the buildings.
And that was our first time walking in that building.
Yeah, that was the first time I was even in that building.
And it is true that what goes there are just, either explorers or kids or skaters or, people want to party, kids that want to sneak and party. And, spirit knows intention. And I think walked in there, perhaps, my guess on that is that, they were saying, hey, this is not the same. These are not kids. They might listen to us.
Yeah.
Wow.
They're doing something different.
Yeah.
They're here for something to communicate with us or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, I think she's spot on about the sensory part of intent.
And that kids. Yeah.
Oh, I believe that wholeheartedly. I believe spirit knows intention. I believe, honestly, and I'm just going to be honest, that's kind of why there are some, there's a lot of beautiful people in the field, but there are some that are in it for the wrong reasons. And they don't get a lot of, they get a little less interaction or negative interaction. And that's the reason why spirit knows. You can't, they know what's up. They know what's up.
Yeah.
They read your energy. They know what you're there for. If you're there for yourself and self reasons and, like these young kids looking to be YouTube stars and whatever they're trying to do, you're not going to get much. They're not going to get, because you should really care about why are they stuck here? Are they okay? That's the main goal. Who cares about this attention seeking or whatever that is? I'm just being honest, and as much you can even pretend to be nice to them. They know.
Oh, absolutely.
They know what's up. They will.
We've said it numerous times over and over again. It's a consciousness, and if you take a consciousness with you, then you have the ability to get pissed, right? And if they know your intentions are bad, you're going to piss them off, and then you see things on TV. It's like, this is a negative energy. Is this demonic? No, you pissed them off. They're people,
right?
Yeah.
It's funny that you say that, because we were downstairs in the basement, and our teammate Phil was there with us at the time. He doesn't investigate much, but he was there with us at the time, and he had said something where he was like, "Oh, this place is disgusting." It was like a piece of furniture, and he was saying "Oh, there's nothing good to see here," and then all of a sudden you hear, "Can I curse? Am I allowed to curse?"
Yeah, sure.
And it says, "Fuck you." Exactly that tone.
Wow.
It was fuck you. That was a place this person worked for 40, 50 years. It was like a workshop, the building we were in.
There was nothing. It was old and decrepit, and he's like, "There's nothing good to be explored here." He said like that, and then you heard it. It was like, "F you," I was like, "Wow." He even said, "Sorry," But they know. They know. That's a lighter example of it, because he didn't mean it, But when you go in and you're for a thrill or a scare or something like that, what are you really doing for the spirit?
Right.
Exactly.
Isn't that about you? Isn't that more about you? You know what I mean? If you want to, I always tell people, if you want a thrill, go to the rides. These were human lives. This is
right.
We have captures out of there that will break your heart. Also, we have one crying, "Help me, I'm in a void," and things like that. So, a lot of the stuff we have isn't on video because it's private residential, but it's heartbreaking. So for me personally, I can't go in there for a thrill or some. Like I said, I'll go to the rides if I want a thrill.
Yeah.
I would like to hope and pray that they are going to be okay, or maybe there's that one last message. Like right now we have an actual murder case right now that we can't give a lot of detail on, but there are police involved.
Yeah.
And this girl was murdered in 1976, and we've been working on the case for 3 years. It turns out that the guy who did it is actually still alive.
Wow.
From there, I have to be quiet because I want to nail him like there's no tomorrow. I want to get him,
Yeah.
But we need proof, so we'll get a lot closer. Courtney's been doing a lot of digging. Chris did digging. We're working on it. But so when I see kids are like, oh, let's try and provoke and throw stuff at it and call it out, and I'm like, don't do that. I out of that same psychiatric center, I have somebody I knew since I was a little girl. I don't know what happened, but she committed suicide after hanging out there for a while. Knows nothing, doesn't believe in anything, was there for her own reasons, whatever. And she was one of the most normal people I knew, though. And one day she just started acting weird for like a year, just not herself. And she purposely ended herself about 2 years ago. So I believe that these things can follow you. I believe in that. I'm one of those people who does believe in that. I've seen it and witnessed it many times. And I kind of started asking questions like, what is she doing there? Like, it was just a hangout, I guess, with a certain crew that she.
You just have to remember when you're investigating out there, everybody that's listening that does investigations is God grants us free will, and if we take our consciousness with us, then we take our free will with us also.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Like it's really a matter of respect too, in my opinion. Like I said, you can go there. Plenty of people go there. You can take pictures. Of course, it's a historical site. It's a park. Have a good time. But if you're going there and you're provoking and you're saying these things to try and get a reaction, you may not see the reaction right away, but this person, you could actually see the shift in behavior, the depression. And if you knew this individual, she was the last person on the planet. She was the most level-headed one out of all of us.
Yeah.
And it was like, what? It was really mind-blowing. So were there other factors going on in her life? I'm sure there were. But going there, in my opinion, and like you said, not being in full consciousness of what you're dealing with wasn't a good idea. It was not a good idea, in my opinion. So that place is riddled. It was a psychiatric hospital. It got overcrowded. It started off as a great place. It served the disabled and all sorts of different people well, but then it got overcrowded and people got neglected. And from there, it just went,
Most of them during that time period went through the same financial struggles, went through the loss of enough people to support the community that they were trying to take care of. And that is, if you take any of those places and look at the history, it was the same. Short-staffed, not enough money, not enough supply, not enough anything. And they all just went downhill to the point where the people that were there suffered even more, and because of lack of attention, care. So sad time.
You are absolutely right. It seems that no matter where I travel, the story in the sanatoriums are very similar. How they told it. It was very similar stories. It started financial, always with follow the money,
Yeah.
Right. And then from there, it's just and back the other problem was back in the I would say going from like the 90s back, people didn't monitor who they hire like they do now.
That's true.
So you probably let a few I know in Letchworth they hired a few pedophiles. So, now, it would probably be a little tight. Anything can happen, but, probably be a little tighter. But they hired a few
It's
people.
a lot tighter.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. It's a lot
They also
tighter.
didn't have the internet and stuff like that to be able to do those background checks.
Right.
And have.
Yeah, I don't think
you have to have the background check.
Well, hell, back then, half the people they hired to take care of the people that had mental disorders should have been committed and been in the room with them.
Exactly.
I hate to cut you guys short, but we unfortunately are out of time. Chris and Kat, do you have anything that you guys want to talk about that you're doing? I know you do a lot of private, so you can't really talk about that, but is there anything else or websites or anything where anybody can go and look at some of the evidence that you've caught?
Yeah, you can check us out on YouTube. Our YouTube channel has all the videos that we are allowed to put out. With the residentials, it's kind of shaky, but the YouTube channel really shows the most. I'm also on Cat Trinity Paranormal on TikTok. I don't know how long that's going to last, but I'm there for now. And then our Facebook page. It's all the same title, Trinity Paranormal Investigations of Long Island. I want to congratulate Ron on that book.
Yeah, absolutely.
I just wanted to throw that out there. That is,
This one's for Ron, baby.
I cannot wait to buy that book. It's on Amazon, right?
Yes, it's on Amazon, and that handsome devil is in it.
Oh yeah, yes. You got Chris in there. Yeah, this is very exciting. I cannot. If anybody in the field, if you want to know what the work is like behind the scenes,
it's hard to see.
read Ron's book because he puts it out there. What we really are dealing with, behind the scenes. So,
thank goodness your book is in green.
Yeah, no, you wouldn't see it with the green screen.
Yeah, it would be straight up because of the green
Say
screen.
that title again. I'm gonna mess it up.
Yeah, it's Paranormally Speaking, Knowingly Talking to the Unknown.
I love that.
Book two coming in probably in less than a year.
Really? All right. Well, I better get on book one then. That's Amazon, right?
Yes, ma'am.
All
and
right.
I appreciate that when folks like you guys, who I love working with, and I admire you guys a lot. Everything from your methods to your ethics and your personality, you guys were fun to work with. So I appreciate that. The huge endorsement coming from all of you and everybody watching too. Like I said, I'm blown away by the kindness. And Chris changed. Your name is all good, and you can have that behind you or a book, and you pick the book.
I take care of my personal fam. Yeah.
Well, I'm looking forward to reading that, and I feel the same way about all of you. You're all really great, and I appreciate you guys on the show.
Thank you guys for coming on, Kat and Chris.
That's right.
Thank you for everybody that watches every week. Yeah. You guys, man, our viewers jumped. We had some really great numbers tonight, and of course, it's got to be because of Chris and Kat, and it might be a little bit because of the book I got floating behind me too. So, sorry, shameless promos for Ron.
Yeah, you deserve it. I can't wait to read that.
I can't wait to read it. Man. Can't wait.
I appreciate you guys very much.
Remember, everybody, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern on the UNX network. And you can also find us live on Facebook and YouTube every Monday night. Don't forget to tune in next week to Entity Voices Paranormal Evidence. Thanks, guys, for coming out. You going to do it? No. Remember, if you're going out to do investigations, guys, be respectful of everything that you do and the people that you're talking to and the spirits that you're talking to. Remember, they are people. But most of all, in order to get those spirits to talk to you, you have to stay haunted. We'll see you guys next week.
Bye, guys. Bye-bye.
Thanks for having us.
Take care.
Can you give me a name? What's your name?